What up? We're going to go over a heater replacement. So your unit's really old or something popped or something happened on this thing and we're about ready to make it all brand new. And the beauty is that the unit is really overall very easy with minimal mechanical skills to do. So the first thing you're going to do is remove your glass. You're going to want to remove this little piece right here. And then once you remove your glass, you can go ahead and remove your base. And again, the DBV is exactly like the Silver Surfer on the bottom with your screws. One thing I want to mention is when you do put these back in, and we'll mention it later, be careful not to cross thread them. So now that we got that out, we'll go ahead and have that there. And so what you would have done to make sure it's your heater is you would have plugged this in and turned it on. And your dimmer light, the little neon light back here, that would have dimmed when your dimmer is good and your heater is bad. If it doesn't dim, then your dimmer is bad. So we have that out. And you're gonna have two insides. So this is our old school one, and this is our new one. And the new one actually eliminates electromagnetic field that gets put back in there, or a conductance from the heater. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna get one of two kits. So if you're in the US, you're gonna get a 110 kit. If you're outside the US, besides Japan, you're gonna get a 220. And if you have any other cord other than this, it's probably gonna be 220. So the first thing, what do you get in your kit? You get some instructions here, and you also get this video. And you're gonna get two of these female clips. And what these are for, that when you remove your heater, if you pull it and those wires do come out, or if you accidentally cut them, you can still fix it. So the first thing you're gonna do is go ahead and get some, we're gonna go ahead and do this one over here. And they're all the same. But this one right here, you're gonna go ahead and remove these two hands sometimes. And we're going to go ahead and remove that. And what that does is that holds your heater basically in place and gives it some strength there. But with the wires, it still allows it to move up and down. And you need this. If you ever have any kind of, go to the dab dish, and every heater is slightly different, so we want to adjust it. So once you pull that out, and you're just going to pull it out really nicely out of the inside there and get it out to there. And so if these are really difficult to pull, I like to wiggle them. And if it still doesn't, it's really good to have two pairs of needle nose. And so you can grab it here and grab it here. And I kind of use my hand as a fulcrum. To pull that. And so I'm not pulling like this, I'm just kind of going like this. And so that's out. Now, say when I pulled that out and somehow I pulled these wires out or something, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Cut them. Say that was a problem. And that's why we give you some extra ones. And it's not really best to use some needle nose. Crimpers are best. But because most people don't have crimpers, I'm going to show you how to do it with these here. And it's all about not squishing it too hard. So we're going to go ahead and get your trusty, and some wire snippers do have a crimper built into it. So get that there, and then you get your little light again. I like to twist them up. And we're going to go ahead and put this on. And you definitely want to make sure that the insulation, they're both equal, and that your insulation goes into it. Now also, you want to make sure that you don't have any frayed wires sticking out, because they'll catch. You won't be able to get it in good, and they'll go backwards, which is not good. So again, while you kind of twist and pull and get those out, that's on there. And another thing is, these, you can't really see it, but they crimp around this way. So as long as we crimp it this way, you'll be really, really good. Just put that on, and again, turn this around so I'm not around that piece. And remember, you're only going to press so hard into this because you don't want to cut into the. Oh, that came out. So we'll go ahead and redo it, and that's why we give you 2. That did not squish it. And again, having crimpers is just way better. But if you don't have them, you can get by here with it. And that's there, and give it a tug. Make sure it's not coming out, and you're good to go. So now you got that, and now you're gonna put these back in. There you go. And then you're gonna go ahead and kind of twist this around, and you're gonna stick that in. And one thing to make sure too is that it will say, if you pull this back, 110 or 100 or 200. So this says 100, so we know that's for a 100 volt unit. I'm going to put this in. And then wiggle it so you get the insulation up in there. And then you're going to pull it to the top right there. That's why we have this piece right here. So you're going to go ahead and take this. And I like to sometimes bend this. It helps me get it through there a little easier. And you're going to get it through that little 2 slits. And be careful not to pull this too hard. And I like to get it around. And it's harder when I'm trying to show you on here. But the main things that you want to do is make sure that you're tying these connectors there. Some units, like the DBV, this will be lower, so you'll be hooking it around down here, but you definitely want to make sure you're either hooking it right there or up here around those. Those are really tied in, and we're going to go ahead and get that going. And don't pull too hard because you can rip that plastic right there, but get it nice and tight. And when it's nice and tight, you can see it's going through nice and straight. And then you can go ahead and use your scissors. Cut that back. Tuck everything down in there nice. Make sure it's all nice and pretty. And you're going to look at it up there. See where you're at and get it up there. Pull it up to where you need to. And then that's pretty much how you do it. Whether it's a 3-wire or a 5-wire dimmer, that heater is just cut those, remove them, replace them, and you are good to go. And then again, remember, you definitely want to be careful here to not strip these screws. So I always like to start them by hand. And then sometimes what I like to do is when I know I'm in the hole, I'll go backwards. And when you feel it like kind of drop, then I start to like to turn it. And I go real lightly. And if it's going in nice, it's nice. If it's not, you might have a threaded or a misthread there. So then we'll go ahead and find our hole there. Again, I'll go backwards. I feel it drop, so we're going to try to, oh, I did not feel it drop. It came out. felt it drop, and now we're gonna go there. And that little drop you're talking about is the threads just lifting up, coming out, and then going to back down on the next one and actually setting where it should be. So go ahead and tighten that down. And remember, don't tighten too hard. You just want to have a nice snug. This is aluminum. And there you go. So your heater's pretty much in place. And then you can see our other videos on how to set your heater height. Replace this, replace your heater, and you are good to go. Got any questions? Hit us up on the questions and answers or in the comments, and we will get back to you. Thanks a lot.